So a military F-35 fighter jet falls out of the sky a few days ago in Alaska. A day later, a Black Hawk helicopter collides with an American Eagle Airlines plane at Reagan Airport, falls into the Potomac River. And a day later, supposedly a plane crashes to a neighborhood in Philadelphia at the Roosevelt Mall. Now, the footage that I've seen so far of the third incident does not look like a plane. It does look like some sort of missile, but definitely not like a plane whatsoever. The angle, the speed, the shape, nothing matches. This is within 3 days. In the meantime, Frontier Airlines halted all their flights for a while because of IT issues. And this is just in the aviation sector. After now years of unparalleled, unprecedented incidents. And people are trying to sort of make sense of it all. There are multiple agendas running parallel here. There's the one overarching, long-lasting agenda in terms of aviation. If you go back and look at aviation incidents in the last 2 to 4 years compared to any previous period, you'll see that large-scale incidents like we've had in the last years usually didn't happen. Airports shutting down, airlines shutting down, entire air traffic shutting down, multiple airlines having issues all the time. There's a worldwide, and that is part of Agenda 2030, and that is part of the re-engineering, the social re-engineering of society. There is a push to end or at least severely limit civilian air travel as we've known it in the 20th and the beginning of the 21st century. That era is supposed to come to an end. And there are multiple things at work here to make that happen. One of them is, of course, to push out a severe level of insecurity and distrust, right? And, you know, it starts with when you set foot on the airport, when you go through the cattle procedure, when you push through the TSA like cattle, inhumane, tyrannical measures at the airports to make people make things that don't make any sense, that defy all logic, and that have the sole purpose to make you feel inhuman and sort of lose self-respect. That's one part of it. And then, of course, the entire program here to show you as many incidents and accidents in air travel and make you rethink whether you want to fly. And it's working. I mean, most of our friends, most of our acquaintances, especially within this movement of people who are actually paying attention, don't like to fly anymore or severely limit their travel. So that's the one thing. But specifically those incidents, and let's just look at the month of January. The month of January was like a whole year or more in terms of what has already transpired. You know, it seems like a long time ago that California was hit with most likely another direct energy weapon attack. Whole neighborhoods that burnt down, incredible damage. You know, and you have these things just happen day after day after day now. What is it? Well, we are in a stage of increased fear and terror, and that is supposed to hit the people more and more and more and more. Being in a state of fear and even terror causes an incredible amount of insecurity, a feeling of powerlessness and insecurity. And if you at the same time have some very strong and some very convincing and some very powerful actions that are happening by someone who is taking very, very extreme measures to do things almost unilaterally, you know, you sort of have this urge that is coming up in all the people. Somebody's got to do something about this all. Somebody's got to stop this. This is not normal. We're in a strange situation. Too much stuff is happening. Too many weather events. Too many attacks. Too many accidents. Something is off, and somebody better do something. And that's the kind of attitude that is being provoked in the people more and more and more and more. Chaos, upheaval, fear. That is the playbook. Always has been the playbook. And so, the other message is it can happen to anyone, anywhere, anytime. Doesn't matter if you're, in the upper class, let's say the celebrity class in LA, or whether you are, somewhere in Western North Carolina and you thought you're sort of safe there in the mountains, or whether you are in an airplane, in an airport, or whether you are wherever. It doesn't matter. What the message is this can reach anyone, anytime, anywhere. And with that, the human spirit starts to sort of diminish and fear comes up. And so the message here is very, very clearly, the more chaos in the outside, the more empowered you need to be. That means that you truly need to focus on being the best possible version of you. Do what you can with what you have where you are. And ignite the human spirit. Know that you're ultimately much, much more powerful, and that your consciousness is, that you can even create layers of security around you on an energetic level, that you can use the power of your co-creatorship, that you can use the power of prayer and meditation to be not just safe, but to actually, and ironically to many people, thrive through these times. This is about consciousness, conscious decisions, and healing. That is one part of the equation. The other part is an acknowledgement that this is a period of war, that there is a big agenda here in hand, and that hasn't stopped yet and isn't going away anytime soon. This is still playing out. The more people that become conscious and become conscious co-creators in this process, the sooner we can triumph in this battle. But this is what is required now. Head in the sand doesn't work. Ignoring it doesn't work. Moving somewhere else doesn't work. Pretending it's not happening doesn't work. Giving yourself over to some fantasy to the Galactic Federation who's going to fix this doesn't work. Or believing that some white hats behind the scene have the almighty power and are just playing out a movie for your benefit. None of this works. All of this has been done before many, many times in history. All of these psychological operations are very well known. Look up Operation Trust in the Soviet Union in terms of trust to plan. But the person staring back at you from the mirror, that is your most powerful ally. And you need to ignite that person's full creatorship, full level, all levels of consciousness, and become the best possible you. That is the recipe for a thriving life, but also for triumph. So that's the message that I would hope most people can hear through these events. It's going to get worse. Unfortunately, there's a potential that's so far advanced that it's just playing out, but it doesn't mean it has to get worse for you individually. And this is where the true power kicks in. All right, my friends, thank you so much for tuning in. We love you. We appreciate you. We'll be back with you again very, very soon.